What is up, YouTube? So I'm gonna do a video quick on the side enclosure installation, and then I'll most likely do a separate video on the heater. Um, these are pretty self-explanatory. They're the OEM Hondas, and the instructions are pretty decent. Factory bolt you remove. This is a self-tapper. You have to self-tap that one in. You reuse the factory bolt. Same thing, factory bolt over here. Up top, get my light. There's Velcro straps there and there. And then there's a connector there. More Velcro straps over there. There's another hard connector there, C-clamp, another C-clamp down there. So when you go to hang it, you literally put these Velcro straps on first, and then you loosely tighten your 3 clamps I pointed out, and then you put the Velcro on the back, and then there's another Velcro strap up here on the A-pillar. And that is pretty much it for the install. Like I said, it's really not that hard. And then I'm not going to take this cover off, but there's a way to adjust the outer handle, which is right here. And then you obviously make sure it closes and opens good. There's a little 7mm nut on the back side of that. They're very simple. Once you do hang it, they do want you to zip this out to finish installing what you need to install. And then literally the last step is bringing this little enclosure panel over. I am taking it out tomorrow. It's going to be in the 30s, so we'll see how these perform. Now, what I will say is we did extra stuff as well. We added weather stripping in there, and then obviously I'll shut this quick there. And I got this stuff off of Amazon to hook onto the windshield. Now, it's not perfect, but when we installed these, there was a bit of a gap here, and when I did take it out in the field, I did feel some wind coming here, and I originally didn't have any back here. I felt some wind coming in there. Obviously, you can only do so much because there's going to be a gap here that we couldn't do anything with, but we did run some weather stripping here and down in here as well. It'll never be a perfect seal, but it's a heck of a lot better than what it is. Also up under here, I did put some foam, and the same thing where the roll bar meets. You can kind of see it back there where the roll bar meets the roof. And also, just for wintertime purposes, in the drain outs in the floor, I put some foam in there. It's really cheap. Just does, if we can keep 80% of the wind out with the heater, it'll be really, really good. They're very simple to install. Like I said, if you have a rear window, you will have to loosen the rear window up to get the straps in. Same thing with if you have a windshield. And also, I forgot the first step it has to do when you install these enclosures is there's 4 roof bolts, Allens there, which you can't see because of the glare light, and then the same thing on the other side, and that'll give you play to get this enclosure up and underneath the roof. And then that's the last step. After everything's set, you tighten the roof back down. So not very difficult. They are pretty expensive. Oh yeah, and I forgot, this is the last Velcro thing you need to do. Just secures it there. In the comments on my last video, a gentleman did put in that they do sell these zipper enclosure, just this section separate from Honda. So if unfortunately something were to happen and you get a rip in it, you can order just this section back and keep the frame. I do plan on, in the summer, I'm not going to take the entire enclosure out. I'll just fully zip this out and run it like that. And then I covered in the last video the other thing that I did to help with sealing the cab is down into here. You can kind of see that rubber boot right there. I put a rubber boot from a transfer case in there. And then that's really good in the summer too, because it keeps the dust out and obviously the heat, because your coolant tubes run along there. But, you know, all in all, I'm very happy with these enclosures, and I'll obviously do a review after riding it, give my impressions on how they sealed, how the Inferno heater performed, because they do sell several different heaters. I know Ice Crusher's another one, and I know there's some other ones. I believe Honda makes a factory one as well. So I'll do a review on how this sealed up, how the heater performed. I mean, it's not going to be a 10-degree day or anything like that, but still, if you can ride in the 30s in a sweatshirt and not have to wear 17 layers and gloves, I'm pretty happy with it. So we'll see how it performs tomorrow. I'll do a separate video because it's a little bit longer for the heater. Bleeding out the coolant system was a pain in the butt for the heater. Hindsight being 2020, after doing some research on forums, they did say that there is a bleeder off the water pump housing. I'll have to look into that next time. But doing the heater is a bit more involved than hanging the side enclosures. So I wanted to keep this short on a brief video on how to install the OEM Honda side enclosures. I think they're worth the money if you're in cold weather riding, or if you really get really bad rain, you can wrap these in a towel or some kind of holder and bring these with and put them behind the seat, and you can quick zip them in if you're gonna be riding through a wicked storm in the fall or spring. So all in all, very happy with how it turned out. I'll do a review video on how the enclosures and the Inferno heater did. Now, my review may be different than your review or your experience, I guess, because we did some extra stuff to help seal this a little bit more. You know, there is still a gap up here. Unfortunately, if it rains, you are going to get water that runs into there, probably drip off the roof pan and find its way into there. But if I'm only getting a little bit of water in here, if we do hit rain, I'm not upset. You know, riding quads my whole life, I'll take a little bit of water over getting torrentially downpoured on a quad. So yeah, they're pretty simple. I mean, the dealer can do it for you. You do have to order these through the dealer. The OEM Honda side enclosures, or anything through Honda for that matter. So I mean, the dealer can install them for you, but like what I pointed out, it's really not that hard to do. It's very self-explanatory. They fit very well. You don't have to modify or cut anything. I know in some of the other ones, the cheaper side enclosures, you do have to, I think you have to notch the roof out and some other stuff from the research I did. But all in all, yes, they are very expensive, but they fit. They're good quality. I mean, this material, it's kind of hard to explain. It's thick, not thin, not flimsy. The zipper is pretty good quality. And again, I love the outer door handle, because on the other ones, some of the OEM ones, they have a zipper here. So you have to unzip it, put your hand in, open the door up that way. It works, but you got to think how many times you open and close the door, how many times you're using that zipper. You know, this, you're zipping out, maybe 8 times a year or whatever, depending if you hit rain or things of that nature. But it's nice because you have this door handle here, you know. So yeah, I'll do a review after I ride in a week or so, and give you my thoughts on how this performed with the Inferno heater and the enclosures, and then I'll do a separate video on the heater install. Again, the heater install was not that difficult. I don't want to make this video too long and go into the heater, but I will say you need a second pair of hands when you're mounting the actual blower motor and heater core. So I hope this helps if you're looking or in the market for side enclosures for your Honda Talon. Till next time, YouTube.